Welcome to Common Sense Wellness with Dr. Gary Martin, the show that helps you take control of your health with clarity, confidence, and practical wisdom. Dr. Gary Martin has spent decades in clinical practice and natural wellness research, discovering that the key to lifelong vitality lies in understanding the body's signals before they become symptoms. Each week, we will explore simple science-backed methods like mineral testing, facial scans, and lifestyle adjustments that help you restore balance from the inside out. You'll also hear from expert guests and real clients who have turned their health challenges into stories of transformation. No gimmicks, no fads, just common sense wellness that works. Now, here's your host, Dr. Gary Martin.
Notice, no diagnosis or treatment for disease is intended. Any observations or comments made by me are for general educational purposes only, simply represent my personal opinion regarding what I would do if I personally had the same concerns as the person voicing them. Please see a licensed health practitioner for all diagnosis, treatment, and information concerning prevention, cure, and restorative health care. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not a licensed practitioner by choice. I hold DN, DSC, PhD, DNM, PSC, D degrees. This information is meant for educational purposes only. It's not meant to cure, treat, prevent disease, nor prescribe, nor to be used for diagnosis. Please be aware that you accept all risks associated. Welcome to Common Sense Wellness. I'm Dr. Gary Martin, and tonight we're going to talk about something that most people never consider, which is how to know when you're getting sick before you feel sick. We will look at why blood work is the last place problems show up, and what a mother of 12 children, what her test numbers reveal about decades of silent depletion, and the single most important thing you can do starting today to start turning your health around. Let's get started. The purpose of the call is to help you be your own doctor, help you learn how to know when you're getting sick and when it is and what it is that you can do to keep yourself well, not only physically, your body is your mind made visible. Right. So if your body is your mind made visible, then maybe your body's not the first domino. Now it is true you feel crappy when you feel like crap, right? So it's like you're linked together, but maybe it's decisions you've been making for the last week or month or year or years that have led you to the state you're in. So we look at all of it. And my whole objective of the almost 50 years I've been doing this is to focus on prevention, focus on not feeling like you have to see the doctor. Now, there's nothing wrong. In fact, I encourage people to get annual blood work. Do it. Because when you have something that shows up in the blood, it's a big deal. This is why the medics use blood, is because blood is a big deal. Blood, so the body will rob Peter to pay Paul for years before it'll let anything go wrong with the blood. So hopefully if you feel bad, your blood looks great, because that means it's easy. It's easy to figure out, well, what do I need to eat and not eat and drink and not take and what, all that. That's the world in which I've always been interested in. And of course, it's been a lifelong search of information, sorting through thousands and thousands of books and articles and over the years. And I've never been bashful about trying this modality or this technique, or I've always had an open mind about everything. But guess what? 50 years later, I'm still dealing with two main tests that I've been using for years, because nothing else can give me the same information. And what is it? It's urine and saliva and hair. So it's like, well, that's easy to do. That's non-threatening. I don't know about you, but I hate needles. Okay. I don't even like the smell. Did you know there's a smell? As soon as those doors slide open, in the hospital, there's this smell. And it gives me I got a chill that goes down my spine, that basically says, what are you doing here? It's like, whoa, keep me out of there. All right. So I don't know where that came from. All right. Hi, Frida.
Dr. Martin, I love it because people have passed out having a shot.
Yeah, well, people are.
Nurses tell the stories.
Oh, yeah, we've got a new thing. I really encourage you to. We started something new on the longevityformulas.com website. In fact, let me tell you about something new we've got because I've been using click to us, CLK number 2 dot US as a redirect for a long time. Well, big tech thinks that's some kind of a spam deal or whatever the case is. So I'm departing from that and I'm using drmartin.me, okay, DRMARTIN, drmartin.me / whatever it is. So if you go to drmartin.me / packets, this is the new thing here. It's a shortcut. It takes you right to the packets page on the Longevity Formulas website. We started putting together information packets. And this is going to be expanded greatly. I don't know how many of you, there's a catalog out there that I've always been fascinated with called Tools for Freedom. I encourage everybody to get that catalog, look it up on the web or whatever. Tools from Freedom. You'll be amazed. They're over in Hawaii and they've been around for quite some time, but their little catalog that they have is just amazing. I mean, there is just some amazing information. And that's actually where I got the idea from, because all they do is they basically sell information. Anyway, drmartin.me / packets, and that'll take you right to the packets page that we're building now. One of the most popular packets that we have right now is called the Vaccine Deaths Report. This thing is 52 pages long, and it's very well documented, and it's something that everybody should have in your library. So, I mean, you can get a hard copy. It's more expensive to get a hard copy from us. You can just get the PDF. They're only $9.95. I think so far we have everything priced at just $9.95. So if you are doing it as a PDF download, then you get immediate access to it. And, there's no postage and no printing. If you want us to send a hard copy, which a lot of people do, then it's $19.95 plus shipping. So it's a much better deal to just get the download. But the drmartin.me / packets, I highly encourage you to do that. And then the other one is new that we're doing is periodically we screw up and we order too much of something and it's sitting there and we don't want stuff to sit around and get old. It's better to just move it out and whatever. So we have a sale page on the same website, longevityformulas.com. So if you go to, and now I don't know whether it's a /sale or /save. I'm pretty sure it's sale. drmartin.me / save. In fact, I'm going to try that right now. Let me see what I get. Let's do sale. Yeah, it's sale. All right. And now I lost my video. There we are. Oops. All right, there we go. So that's some news for you. You can save some money on some popular items. Check that frequently because it can change day to day, week to week, and whatever. But you might just find something on there that you use and you can save anywhere. I think right now it's anywhere from 10 to 30% on whatever's there. And keep in mind, this stuff's all new, so check back because it's going to keep growing and expanding. All right, I think I don't know what else. I had a really busy day today, and I'm not really that organized for tonight, to tell you the truth. So let's open up for questions. So first of all, get those out of the way. Anything bugging you? Anything you want to know? Memgram, EIA, HMA, client lab kit, whatever. Personal stuff. Now you can't tell me that you just logged on here just because you didn't have anything better to do. I hope not anyway. So come Come on. Come on. Questions. Somebody told me the other day, well, I didn't ask any questions because I didn't want to sound dumb. Well, when you get an answer to a question you have, then you're less dumb, right? So there are no dumb questions. I mean, I don't know about you, but the older I get, the dumber I feel. Ever feel that way? It's like all of a sudden, I mean, you really feel that way when if you ever watch your grandkids on their phone, texting or something on their phone, or just working their phone. It's like a blur. Whatever. And I'm going, duh, Grandpa. I says, hey, my mind doesn't work like yours does anymore. Anyway. All right. So pipe in if you have a question. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on rambling with what comes to my mind. I had a BIA. Well, I told you, I think, what was it? Was it last week or the week before that I told you about? I saw my first COVID numbers, and the saliva pH was really acid, which is always bad because that's your liver. That's your liver and your pancreas, and that's like riddled. Meaning it's kind of like the analogy I use a lot is when your saliva pH goes really alkaline, then it's still liver and pancreas and all that stuff. But it's like if you've ever seen a furnace filter, a furnace filter that should have been changed weeks, maybe months for some people who don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm like a freak about that stuff. And it's just all clogged up. Yeah, whatever. All right. That's a high saliva pH. All right. For your liver. That's what your liver looks. All right. Now, if your saliva pH goes low, now low can be below 6.5, but for most people, it ends up being probably below 6.8. Or it can be relatively low, meaning that it should be higher than it is, but it's not. But it's not still below 6.5, so relatively as well. Okay, but anyway, that low saliva pH is like, okay, you take that same furnace filter, hey, you shoot it with a shotgun. It's just full riddles. I call it riddled. Okay. Well, as far as I can tell, that's what's going on with COVID people's livers.
Really?
So that's kind of interesting. So, but, and I need to see a lot more. I mean, it's hard to find people. The only reason why this was available to me was because I personally knew the person. So, and I heard they had COVID, and I says, what kind? Oh, I got them all. I got all the variants. I got tested, and I got 3 of them. I got them all. I said, well, at least you'll be, immune from here on out to all of them. That'll be good. All right. But what was my first thought? Oh, man. Pee and spit for me right now. I want to see your numbers. So that's what I've been doing for 50 years. That's how I gained most of my knowledge, basically, is what do people's numbers look like that have all these different kinds of situations. That's why I say in one of the early issues of the Be Your Own Doctor newsletter, and if you have a lab kit and you're not subscribed to that, I tell you, you are missing out big time. The BYOD. So this is drmartin.me/BYOD. No, it's not bring your own drink. It's be your own doctor. BYOD. drmartin.me/BYOD. Takes you right there. Now, what was I talking about before I got off on the link? What was I talking about? I was talking about the COVID thing, right?
Getting more information, seeing more cases.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I'm talking about in the early issues of the Be Your Own Doctor newsletter. I talk about is that you don't really know what you're doing until you've seen 1,000 tests. So get busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if it's yourself. You'll learn a lot just by, I had a really good day today. I wonder what my numbers look like. Well, test them, whatever. Oh man, I feel like crap today. I got this headache, whatever. Do your numbers. You will learn more. You'll learn more from associating situations and personalities and whatever with numbers than you will reading even the stuff I write. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
All right. Questions?
Dr. Martin, what is the format in that Be Your Own Doctor publication that you're talking about?
It's an 11 by 17 called a ledger page, folded down, which becomes 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
20 pages with a lot of inserts. Sometimes there's as many as 50 pages of inserts to it. But the newsletter itself is always 20 pages, like a book. It's what they call it. What they call it? Saddle stitched? Is that what they call it? So that, you read it like a book and the pages are 8.5 by 11 and there's 20 of them. So that's the basic newsletter. And then there's other inserts for attachments to it.
Does that come out monthly, Dr. Martin, or bi-monthly?
We send it out on the first of every month. If the first is a weekday, business day, otherwise it'll be on the first Monday after the first.
Okay.
It's like they just went out, yesterday? What's the day? The second? Today's the second, yes. So send them out. Yeah, we got people as far away as the Philippines.
Oh, neat. And what's the yearly subscription rate for it, Dr. Martin?
It's a month-to-month subscription. It's $97 per month, month to month. Stop anytime you want. But if you stop, there are no resubscriptions. Ever. All right. So if you feel that it's not for you, well, then stop. Big deal. But I guarantee you, this will be the best $97 that you ever spent. If you learn just one thing a month that keeps you from having to talk to me and pay a consult for me because you did your numbers and Dr. Martin said in issue number 2, that's it. That's what I need to do. And then you do that and you feel great in about a day or two, usually, then, hey, more than worth it.
Yeah.
In fact, you paid for your subscription. So it's all about teaching you. I'm pouring everything that I've learned in 50 years into this news. Right now, I don't know how many issues there will be, telling the truth. I think I just finished 10. So there's at least 10. If you're a real sponge for information, you can learn as fast as you can order ahead. I mean, as long as you don't go past 10, because that's all there is right now, right? All right. But you don't have to wait for the next issue. I gotta have the next one. Order it. We just move you up on the subscription schedule is all. So then the next month you'll get 3 instead of 2 and extra. All right. Anyway, I was talking about COVID numbers, right? So I also saw my first 12 children numbers. I said, oh my gosh, what kind, like sugars were like 0.8, salts were like 7. This is like the first test. Now you never see this on first test unless the person is completely wiped out. Salts are like 7. And then of course the nitrate and the ammonia, their total was like 20 something. So if you looked at it, let me see if I can do this. Let me find the balance chart. All right, so let me share my screen maybe. Okay, let me see if you can see this. You see that? All right, so you see her sugars were 0.8. Look at this, way down here. See, you never want to have any numbers below perfect. So here she is sitting down here at -7 range, okay? Her salts were 7. I forget what her ureas were, or whatever. I should have had already drawn out for you, but I would have been organized. Huh? And her ureas were like clear up here in the 20s. So if you draw a line, remember the life-death line?
Yeah.
If you draw a line between 0.8, let me see. You know what? Duh. I was going to put a ruler up here on the screen, you can see it. Right. All right. So if we go, if we can draw it here, I bet I can draw it. I used to use this program. Yeah, but I forget how to do it now. Figure it out. All right. Don't want to take up time on the recording with this. But if you can visualize a line here from 0.8, look at that slant. 0.8 all the way up here. Look how low on the life side. So I'm saying to her, I says, what in the world? What have you been so stressed out about? And her answer was, well, I've had 12 kids. Could that do it? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, 12 kids. Well, now I know what 12 kids looks like. So, and I share this kind of stuff I'm trying to get my screen back. All right, let me see if I can get my, all right. So I don't know how to get my screen. Oh, there it is. Duh. It's kind of like my wife is like technically challenged when it comes to being able to see everything on the screen. And I'm forever, she says, I want to do this. I want to do this. And I'll walk up to the screen and I'll just sit. I'll say, well, you see that button right there? You see what it says? Click it. That's just the way I was just now. It was the stop sharing the screen button was right there in front of me. And I'm going, oh, how do I do this? All right. So 12 kids. So what do you do? What do you do if those are if your life death line looks like that with life being down here? Say, all right. So what's the sugar number? Well, the sugar number represents carbohydrate, represents sugar. So this person needs to just, bushels of fruit, right? And her pHs were high. And whenever they're high, you always use lemon water. But in her case, she's got to sweeten the lemon water because lemon water has the ability to pull your sugars and your salts down. Not only is it water, and water pulls your sugars and salt numbers down into that magic zone, okay, which is between 0 and +2 range on the balance chart. But the lemon even does more so. And so if your sugars are already below perfect and you're trying to rebuild, you've got to sweeten, and you need a lemon water, okay? Then you have to sweeten that lemon water. You have to add sugar to it. Now, what else do the sugars represent? Well, they represent, to a certain degree, total dissolved solids. It is the specific gravity. So when your sugars fall down, like I just showed you, then what does that mean? Well, if we were going to do an HMA, and she did, sometimes I can't remember everything and whatever. And I noticed there was no HMA in her file. And so I started talking to her about HMA, and she says, oh, well, I already sent it in. And I says, oh, okay, well, that means we just don't have it back from the lab yet. Okay. But I guarantee you, what am I going to see on the HMA? Are her minerals going to be all high like this, or are they going to be way low?
Low.
That's right. The low sugar represents mineralization that is needed. Well, now why would that be? Well, what do you think growing 12 babies pulls out of you? Say, minerals.
Yeah.
And then ultimately one day you wake up and you can't get out of bed because your adrenals have crashed, your thyroid has crashed, everything's crashing because the fuel that you need is gone. So that's the value of seeing the HMA, because the HMA is what? The HMA is hair mineral analysis. It's every 4 months. Okay, so we're monitoring the basic foundation of the body 3 times a year. Okay. Minimum. Once you get your hair mineral analysis energy rating up into the 90s, you could probably do it every 6 months, as long as you don't fall out of there. But every 4 months, we're monitoring the basic foundation. Because see, the basic foundation, represented by all the minerals in your body, whatever, that is what your BIA has to work with. So if our foundation is really weak, then we can be doing all kinds of fancy stuff because of the BIA. We could be eating this and taking that and drinking that and whatever. But the focus really needs to be on, in this case, the focus really needs to be on making sure those minerals are up into the normal zone and the ratios between them are right. So I'm really, really anxious to see her AHMA, to have it confirmed that what I see in the BIA is telling me. In fact, I've got 2 tests on her now, and her sugars on both tests are below perfect. So That's confirmation in and of itself that I would bet $1,000 I'm going to see a real deficient HMA.
So if she has low sugars, does that mean she would be hypoglycemic as well?
Yes. Yeah, she would at least have hypoglycemic type symptoms. I believe there was a headache complaint there. And why is that? Well, because the brain depends upon sugar.
Oh, right.
So it's not getting the food. So we don't call it a brain attack like it was, I have a heart attack. Yeah, well, it is a brain attack. Only we don't call it that. We call it a headache, or we call it a migraine or whatever. But it's really the brain attacking. The brain saying, hey, feed me. I can't breathe. See, the sugar level has a lot to do with the amount of oxygen that is carried to the brain. Too high shuts it off. Too low shuts it off. That's why you want to keep that. You want to keep that sugar in the.
So I'm sorry, sugar is the fuel that helps the oxygen get to the brain?
Yeah, there we go. Can you see that? Did I click share screen? I hope I did. Anyway, you see right here in this magic zone right there, you want to keep your numbers. The first thing will be, this could take you months or it could take you days. Everybody's different. But you want your sugars and your salt reading. The sugar number is real simple. It's a refractometer. It takes 10 seconds to do. The salts is a meter that you use that takes probably a minute to do. You want to keep the sugars and the salt number between 0 and +2 first. Don't worry about anything else. Just get that done. Because why? Because that means you're consuming enough water. You got the water coming through you, okay, that the body can work with. Then we begin to work on all the rest of the numbers so that the more dots on the balance chart, or the more numbers that you have in the 0 to +2 range, the better you're going to feel. Simple as that.
If the sugar number is good, it means you're hydrated enough?
You want to pay more attention to the salt number.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it was the salt number.
Thank you for joining us on Common Sense Wellness. Your body is sending you signals all the time. The question is whether you have the tools to read them. If you want to learn more about the BIA, which is a urine and saliva test, is a self-test, the hair mineral analysis, or the Be Your Own Doctor newsletter, visit BIRI.org. BIRI.org. You can also use some shortcuts. The BIA would be BIA.BERI.org. The HMA would be HMA.BERI.org. Be Your Own Doctor newsletter is Dr. Martin, DrMartin.me/BYOD. And for the Client Lab Kit, a shortcut is drmartin.me/CLK. We will be here next week with more vital self-help information. Take good care. See you next episode.
Thanks for listening to Common Sense Wellness with Dr. Gary Martin. To learn more about the testing and resources we discussed, or to find out how you can take charge of your own health, visit BIRI.org. You'll find valuable information, free tools, and ways to connect directly with our wellness community. That's BIRI.org. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share the show with someone who's ready to take their next step toward better health.